For far too long, the people in the Eastern Navajo Agency have been living an environmentally racist horror show. For far too long, the people in the Eastern Navajo Agency have been living an environmentally racist horror show. How does this happen? What do you mean by that? How is it environmentally racist? 2016, oil well of a horizontally fracked well exploded within the exterior boundaries of the Naizi chapter house, which is maybe less than a mile from the entry point to the Chaco Cultural National Historic Park. 50 families had to be evacuated, and even then there's still no emergency plan in place to how to respond to an oil well explosion.
Tribal nations are at the forefront and on the front lines of the climate crisis, responding to sea level rise, coastal erosion, ocean acidification, increased frequency and intensity of wildfires, and altered seasonal duration. It threatens the health, cultures, and economies of tribal nations and their citizens. For example, my own tribal nation is involved in a multi-year $60 million relocation project of the village of Tahola because the health, safety, and property of hundreds of our citizens are being lost to sea level rise and devastating storm surges. Sadly, my nation's struggles are not unique and represent only a portion of the climate-related concerns in Indian country. Vigorously working to mitigate and reverse the effects of these threats is on the minds of every tribal leader. As such, it is absolutely necessary that whatever steps are taken by the administration, the unique political and legal status of tribal nations and their citizens must be recognized.
We collectively have to resist the myth of scarcity and embrace the reality of abundance. Our earth was designed divinely, and the regenerative design of the earth systems means that seasons regenerate with every season. The soil and the sun fosters growth and all the food that we need. The world is 2/3 water, which more than meets our needs. And the sun rises every day, literally like clockwork, and so on and so on. However, thanks to the perpetuation of the false narratives that have pitted people against each other, and it's given the false impression that it's not possible to have clean air, clean water, and health and economic wellness for all. The false narratives tell us that there is an inverse relationship between protecting the environment and opportunities to prosper, and that has led us to where we are today, specifically as it relates to the energy sector, with the wealthy few using a reckless extractive means to harness and process energy as they amass wealth and power and sacrifice the well-being of workers and of communities in so doing.
Unless we act now, the increased death and disease, increased floods, increased drought, increased wildfires we are experiencing now will only get worse as my daughters grow older. The world does have a carbon budget. It's finite and it's running out, and we need a rapid transition to net zero.